What is going on, guys? This video is going to be a little bit slanted. I can't figure out where to put my phone. Probably there. Let's do there. What is going on, guys? It's bonfire night. Not going to any fireworks dues. Got some salmon cooking in the oven. Just came for a little drive. Pulled over in a little lay-by at the side of the road, so hopefully it's not too loud. I thought I'd come for a little drive, pull over, record my YouTube video for the day. As always, I'm not even sure what day it is. I'm making a YouTube video every single day for 365 days, but there can't be long left. Not long left till the end of the year. This year's flown by, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like that angle. It just seems like there's too much there. Let's just hold the camera. But yeah, I'm not sure what day it is. I'm making a YouTube video every single day, but this year has flown by. I put an Instagram post up today, and it was basically talking about relationships in the sense of what's happened. Why is the majority of the content I see about I'll just be that cool uncle who is single at 40, who's traveling the world, who's working out, which are all positive things, but I mean, I wouldn't necessarily preach being single at 40. The point of this video really is, I feel like everything's backwards in the world nowadays. A lot of the things that are promoted are probably the opposite of what you should be doing. And that's on my feed. Obviously, I'm not scrolling at the minute. If you listen to yesterday's video, I said that I'm done scrolling and I've replaced it with reading, which I think has been massive for my mental health and my peace, and that's only on day 2. I'm probably reading more than I've ever read in my life, and I don't think there's any downsides to reading. But yeah, back onto the topic. I just feel like everything in the world nowadays is just so opposite. Like, this is coming from someone who lived that lad life, who lived the partying every weekend, lived the bottles in the clubs, etc., drugs, alcohol, a path of hedonism, and this is what I see a lot of lads aspiring to like do this. Like, if you're a young lad at the minute, you probably look up to guys who are in the clubs, who are partying, who have loads of money, have fast cars, the Tate lifestyle, if you want to call it that, and you'll look up to a lot of these guys and think, oh, I want to be that playboy, like Tate's got all these girls, and you don't understand that that's not real life. Like, of course it can be if you want that to be your life, but do you want to get to 30, 40 and not have started a family? Do you want to get to 30, 40 and still be in clubs? And as I was getting onto, I've been the person who's been in the clubs, I've lived that life, and I've never had a ridiculous amount of money ever. I'm not going to say I've ever been rich. Like, I've been broke the majority of my life. But you get nothing out of it. You actually feel more empty at the end of it all. Do you know how many nights I thought I was living the life? I had loads of people around me in the clubs, and I'm like dancing and laughing with these guys, and I end up walking home alone, or getting a taxi home alone and getting back in bed, staring at the ceiling and thinking, why am I here again? Why, I don't even enjoy this. That's the madness of addiction. Like, we keep repeating the same thing and we end up back in the same place, that bedroom on our own, thinking, why do I keep doing this? And I listened to a podcast today. I said that I was listening to a podcast today when I'm driving, or a podcast when I'm driving. So that's the only content I'm consuming. I don't want to be lying and saying I'm not consuming anything. If I'm driving, I may put a podcast on. But I was listening to this podcast, and it was speaking about kind of addiction and fame, and when people get rich, they rich and famous, they end up going down a path of hedonism. Because a lot of the people who get famous, they had this journey And the whole time through this journey, they had a goal, the end goal in mind, whether it was be in a film, make music, be a producer, anything. Even anyone, it doesn't have to be famous, but they've worked so hard towards this goal. They've had something in mind. They've had, okay, I want to get here, so I need to do this. They had a plan and they executed the plan. But then when they achieved that goal and they executed the plan, they achieved the goal and they got to where they wanted to get to, they then, well, what's next? If you work so hard on something for 5 years of your life and then you get to that goal, the pinnacle of your life, you could say, and then you wake up the next day and you've reached that goal and there's no plan anymore. There's nothing to work towards. And I feel like that's why so many men, but not even just men, people in general can be so lost because they don't have that goal. I'm still in the process right now. I've applied for a job, got a job interview, but I'm still in the process now. That job's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I'm in the process of finding what my thing is, like what I can work so hard towards. And that's why I made a video the other day saying I felt lost, I was bored, I was overstimulated. Well, I was overstimulated because of the content, but I was bored because I still haven't found that vision. If I didn't have the gym, man, I'd be so lost. You know, without the gym, I would be so lost. The gym gives me that purpose. So if you're someone right now who feels lost, you don't have a vision, a goal, just getting in the best shape of your life is the perfect way to start. Because that's going to be a way of life for the rest of your life. People feel like they have purpose. This is what I think. People feel like they have purpose when they have a goal. And they're so driven towards that goal every day. They know when they wake up what they need to do to achieve that goal. Mine was online sales for most of this year. And I knew when I woke up, I needed to work towards that goal. I needed to make as many sales as possible to hit the commissions that I wanted to hit for that month. And I worked relentlessly at it every single day. And then I stopped doing that when I came back from Tenerife, or just in between, like in the middle of Tenerife. And that's why I felt so lost, because I didn't have a goal. So right now and this is why I took time off social media. I'm in that place now where I'm trying to find that thing what I want to work towards. I'm trying to think, okay, what is it that I really want to achieve next in my life? Get that vision and start building that plan towards that vision. That's the position I'm in right now. But if you're lost in life right now, you need to find something that you want to work hard towards. Another thing that I'm going to start doing very, very soon is boxing. I've done a little bit of mixed martial arts before, but I'm just going to focus strictly on boxing. Get good at that for 2 years. I don't want to be the next fucking Mayweather. I don't want to be the next Conor McGregor, but I want to be good in that combat sport. And that's going to give me another little goal. So I've got the gym. I've got boxing. Okay, I've got 2 physical goals. Now I need the financial goal. Okay, what career do I want to pursue to get me to the financial position that I want to get to? That's the position I'm in right now, finding that thing. So if there's any value you can take from this video, is find the thing you want to work on. It's going to take trial and error. I spoke to a guy who's quite rich the other day, and I said, how do you find your thing? Is it just trial and error? He's like, yeah. Just trial and error as many things as you can whilst you're young. Find your thing and then work relentlessly towards achieving the pinnacle of that career. Because the job for me, it's not a career path I want to go down. Yeah, I could probably build my way up, but a lot of jobs are not going to get us to earning a lot of money. But money isn't everything either. You can have your financial goals, but if your brain isn't there, you'll get lost along the way. Like I was saying about the famous people, they get to this goal and then they're like, what's next? Oh, the only thing that's actually given me that buzz, what? The same buzz of that route to achieving the goal is now drugs. Okay, so now I'm going to go down a life of hedonism, drugs and alcohol and girls, etc., etc. And then you see so many famous people, don't you? You see them on interviews like 20 years into their career and they're like, yeah, I went down this path of hedonism and then I found myself again and realised that wasn't for me. And then now I'm on the self-improvement journey. And I feel like that's what I've done. I've gone so far down the path of party, drugs, that it never really does anything for you in the end. It starts off fun, and then it ends up you're just like, oh, I feel empty, man. This isn't doing shit for me. In fact, this is worse than being sober and at peace. When you're an addict, you get so used to being in chaos that living a normal life, like what I do now, just go to the gym, work, have a peaceful life, a peaceful relationship at home, you're like, where's the chaos? It's kind of a shock at first. I feel like you go through these stages in sobriety. The first 2 to 3 months, it's super fresh. That's all you have to focus on, just staying sober, another day, another day. Then you get like 4 to 6 months in, it's like, okay, don't really have much to do anymore. If you're working a job, it's a little bit better because you're staying busy, but you can still think, what's next? Because, yeah, I feel good now, but it's not fresh like it used to be. And I think people get to that 6 month mark and think, oh, it's kind of boring. And then you get to a year, that's where I've got to, and I'm like, okay, I'm sober, I'm happy, I'm peaceful, but I need a goal now to achieve. I need that, not chaos in my life, but I need that little bit of excitement in my life. That's the word. It goes from chasing chaos to getting sober to now, okay, life's good, life's peaceful, I'm content, but I need a little bit of excitement. So boxing, something that's testing me. You need a little bit of pain in life. You need a little bit of testing. You need a little bit of a challenge. Especially as men. I can't necessarily speak for women. I'm not a woman, of course. But for men, I feel like if you get sober and you don't go out anymore, okay, you read, you learn some knowledge, but you need some excitement. So go learn a combat sport. That's why I keep preaching the gym. Get in the gym, because you have that little bit of oomph. You have that, okay, tonight I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to fucking push some weight hard. And you leave that gym and you're like, yeah, I completed that. I feel good after that. You release them endorphins. That's why exercise is so beneficial. Anyway, I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent. I know my salmon's going to be done soon. I don't want to burn the house down. But just keep trialing and erroring, man. If you feel lost in life, somewhat like I do, you haven't found your purpose, you haven't found your career. Obviously, one thing for me, man, like I put Instagram videos out. I'm trying to help people with sobriety. I'm trying to help people get out of the position I was in of destructing every single weekend. But if you haven't found your thing yet, just keep trial and erroring. Try new things, try a new sport, go to a different coffee shop, speak to people. If you go in a sauna, try and start a conversation. Yeah, it can be awkward at the time, but you never know, that one person that you speak to could completely change the trajectory of your life. Literally, one conversation could change your life. Who knows? I could have a conversation in the sauna next week. Have a conversation, end up speaking about the guy's career and end up going down that career path. Who knows? Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Speak to people. Trial and error. And if you haven't found your thing, that you're on the route to finding your thing, you're still get your words out, mate. You're still trial and erroring. Get in the gym, learn a combat sport. That's where you're going to get excitement from life that doesn't involve drugs and alcohol and the path of hedonism. Hope you enjoyed that ramble. That extremely random ramble which started on about relationships and then went into chaos and then went into addiction, then went into excitement. I feel like that was a roller coaster. But I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I appreciate everyone who watches. I appreciate everyone who's subscribed. If you're not already, you've just stumbled across my channel, please subscribe, like, comment any questions, any videos you want me to put out. Just drop them in the comments. I'll be sure to do them. No one's ever done that. Can you make a video about this? Drop it. I want to help you people. I want to give my perspective, my philosophies on life. Guys, see you in tomorrow's video. Whoop!